Wow, so I'm simply just live on TikTok and YouTube at the same time. See if it invites anyone in. I do have a copy of my book here, Maria's Photograph, to wave around if anyone is interested, if there is actually anyone here. I imagine that no one is going to be watching on either of the two platforms, but just holding myself to account. Anyone on either of them? Nope. Hey, keep going. We're finding you some more people. Oh yes, of course you are. Invite to join as a guest? No, because I'm not inviting anyone to join as a guest. The dog's decided she wants to come and see me. No one else is here, but no one on TikTok and no one on Facebook. So I'm going to send out a few invites myself. Just going a few random people. Just going to the first, I can invite 10 people, so sending separately. I bet no one will come to any of them. TikTok really does not like me. There's one person watching. Who's the one person? So no, you were watching for about half a second, and then you weren't. I've got two people on TikTok. I've got two people on TikTok. I've got two people on YouTube watching. Hi there. How you doing? Morning. It's evening here. So wow, 30 people suddenly watching. So hey, Ray Pennybody's here. So I've got basically I've got one camera over here and one camera over here. So yeah. Well, thanks for joining in, saying hi. Yeah, so I just decided. Okay, thanks for staying. So what I'm doing is I'm actually getting on with some writing, but I'm kind of holding myself accountable to make sure I do some writing. So I may not actually be able to talk much, but I might just be here and writing, and I might gain some followers for that. I don't know how long I'm going to be live for, so I don't know. I may not be able to talk much. TikTok, because there's a few people joining from TikTok, so there's only one person in it. You never know. I'll keep going with it. I think I kind of lost my live status on TikTok, but so I've been live on there for a while. But I'm going to go over some of what am I writing about this evening. I'm writing a book called The Lady in Green. I'm just going to go. Oh, thank you for the likes there, and thank you for the likes on YouTube. I'm not going to be able to keep talking to people, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to go for what I'm going to do first. So I'm going to go through the first chapter, and I will. I'm going to get it to read it out loud if you can hear it. If you can hear me, the dog's over there mucking about. But I'm going to I'm going to go for a read aloud and see if you can hear it. Because obviously there's going to be some mistakes in this. But I'm going to see what it comes out as.
The Lady in Green in First Person. Chapter 1.
Can't change the volume, see if people can hear it. If people can't hear it or no one turns up for the live, I might just I might go back and just do it off live. But if anyone is interested in buying a book from me, I've got Maria's photograph right here. You can get it. You should be able to get it via the link in TikTok shop. There should be a shop link. So yeah, I just need to make sure that this is working. At the moment, the voice is not doing anything. I'm supposed to be reading it out loud, and it's not doing anything. Hi there, everybody's saying hi on YouTube. I'll get the first paragraph up, see if that works that way. No, it's not doing anything. Unless there's like a unless it's connected via Bluetooth to somewhere. I'm just going to check that. No Bluetooth connector, it's just not working. Let's go for read aloud again.
I leaned against the window in blind panic, an ice-cold sweat on my face, dripping onto my nightdress as I stared helplessly out into the January sky.
Relaxing.
I was in such a daze that my mouth found itself unable to scream or utter any word at all.
Working on this.
A good thing, perhaps, because if I told people what had just happened, they would have carted me off to the local lunatic asylum. I'd just awoken from what I can only describe as the most frightful dream I'd ever had in my adult life. I was in that phase where I wasn't sure if I'd woken up, or if I was still dreaming, or if it was a dream at all. That was until I spotted the thing I feared. Moving across the field in the distance, I saw an eerie green ball of light. But it wasn't just a strange green light. Even from such a distance in the blackness of the night, I could see that it was a woman. She had her back to me and was walking away from me with some purpose.
Reading,
her long blonde hair blew in the breeze. She simply walked away at a pace where I would have had a chance of catching her were it not for me being a good distance from her, and in my nightgown and up 3 flights of stairs. I'd been in the hospital with my mistress, Lady Bottor, daughter-in-law of my employer. The young daughter-in-law of my employer lay in a hospital bed in a room lit only by paraffin lamps. It was in the light cast by those lamps that I could see what looked like pints of blood oozing over the bedsheets from her lifeless body as the doctors fought to save her. She was supposed to be having not 1, but 3 babies. Something had gone horribly wrong. The first child, a boy, had come at around 3 a.m. He was happy and healthy. I bounced him in my arms.
So that's why we need to. That's why we do this. It says what was happy. No, we get rid of that. It's happy. He was happy and healthy.
Was happy and healthy. I bounced him in my arms as the group as the doctor and 2 midwives went back.
Right, as the group, no, as we don't need group, we just need as the doctor and 2 midwives went back to her ladyship. This is why we do the check over like this.
And 2 midwives went back to her ladyship. Just 5 minutes later, it seemed from what I heard the doctors yelling that the following 2 babies had tried to come out at the same time. I'd been too busy with the first baby and didn't see the birth, but I heard the panic. Someone had called to me, yelling at me to put the baby in its cot. I did so, and I was immediately passed something wrapped in cloths. The woman who passed it to me then ran back to aid her ladyship. Almost immediately, a young midwife appeared beside me with a second bundle.
One person still watching on YouTube.
The midwife, who by the look of her was no older than I was at 23, had a look of pure terror in her eyes. A look that she must have seen reflected in my own. One of the babies was alive, but the other 2 weren't going to survive.
Hey, Daniel's here.
Not unless by some minor miracle we could get them breathing. We need to breathe for them. I'd called to her above the panicked cries of the doctor working on her ladyship, massage their hearts, try to get them breathing. I wasn't a doctor, I wasn't a nurse, but I'd read how to do it in books.
Can you hear it?
The midwife, however, was worryingly uneducated in such things, or had simply frozen on the spot. Trying and failing to remain calm, I bent over one of the bundles and I breathed both steadily and gently into his or her mouth. I saw the tiny lungs rise and fall and waited desperately to see if there was any improvement. I began to push my fingers up and down over the heart in an effort to pump blood. The midwife, now out of her own moment of hesitation, was working hard to save the other baby.
Both
of us repeated the acted for several minutes, becoming more desperate with every failed attempt. That was until the midwife, after several minutes, no success, crumpled to her knees in tears. I wasn't going to give up so easily.
No, it's not tears, it's tears. Right.
Tears. I wasn't going to give up so easily. I took the child from the girl, and I did my utmost to both of them breathing. By now I was exhausted as sweat and tear poured down my grimy face.
No, that's my utmost to get both of them breathing, not my utmost to both of them breathing. Again, this is why we go over and do editing.
By now I was exhausted as sweat and tear poured down my grimy face, but I wasn't going to give up on these poor babies for anything. Then suddenly, as though she'd appeared out of thin air, she was just there. A woman in a bright green dress, with a thick veil over her head, transparent enough for me to see her blonde hair.
The lady in green.
She took both babies from my arms, and though I did have a choice, it was almost as though she had some magical power, which gave her the ability to take the child.
And that's meant to be as though I didn't have a choice, not and though I did have a choice. I think what I'll do is I'll go live while I'm just doing this bit, but then what I will do after that is just go on with it off live, perhaps. As there's not many people here. I think I kind of I was doing good on the lives, but you kind of need to add your time up on them.
Which gave her the ability to take the child, made have much anyone tried to stop her. There was an air of something about
Mate have much. That doesn't sound too right. Shouldn't you mate have much? It should be where did that go? Let's start again from here.
Both of us repeated the acted for several minutes, becoming more desperate with every failed attempt.
Action not acted.
Action for several minutes, becoming more desperate with every failed attempt. That was until the midwife, after several minutes,
thank you, Rope, anybody.
Crumpled to her knees
I do really appreciate your support, honestly, I do.
I took the child
I've got to look in one way and look in the other way. I honestly, I really support you.
I was exhausted
I really
as sweat and
appreciate your
tear poured
support.
down my grimy face, but I wasn't going to give up on these poor babies for anything. Then suddenly, as though she'd appeared out of thin air, she was just there. A woman in a bright green dress, with a thick veil over
the lady
her
of the
head,
manor has had 3 babies and 2 of them are dying, and the lady of the manor is dying as well. And the green lady has come to take them away.
Almost as though she had some magical power,
but it's not
which
real.
gave her the
It's all in her
ability
head.
to
It's a
take
dream.
the child, made have much anyone tried to stop her. There was an air of something.
That's what mate has it. And get them. Something gave her the ability to take the child. That should have been no matter how much anyone tried to stop her.
Matter much anyone tried to stop her. There was an air of something about the woman which had made me wonder
Thank you
if I should
for
be
anyone who's
terrified
coming
of
in.
her.
Basically what I'm doing is I'm going over some work here.
I had a vague
editing.
impression that she was some sort of angel.
I
She
love
had
what
to be
Felix
to have
and
appeared
Steak
out
I've
of
never
thin
seen
air
that.
like that.
Thank you
I
anyway.
didn't
Thanks for coming
believe
in.
in such utter nonsense. I went to church on Sunday, but everyone was expected to go to church on Sunday. It was a weekly social event, where the well-do dressed in them to show off to the other well-to-do families.
So it's well, it's not well-do, it's well-to-do. I'll probably go over this about 100 more times anyway, because this is just the first chapter. I've got so much more of this to write.
Do dressed in them to show off to the other well-to-do families. I witnessed their behaviour because I was there in a working capacity. Those smiled all and I didn't believe God, or Satan.
That's meant to say though I smiled at all. No, it's meant to say though I smiled. Though I smiled, I didn't believe in God or Satan.
Or Satan, or angels, but couldn't deny it while she was right there in front of me like the angel of death, but in an odd green dress.
She thinks it's the angel of death who's come to get the babies, and she's kind of right, in a way.
In short amount of time that I saw her through the veil, I couldn't decide what her intentions were.
She's sort of right.
Short amount of time that
thank you for loving the live.
I couldn't
I really
decide what her
appreciate it.
intentions were. In my mind, if she had bad intentions, she would be ugly.
Mohammed.
But all bad people are ugly, but not all ugly are bad. This woman, however, from what I could see of her under the veil, was quite a beauty. She reminded me of somebody I knew, but I couldn't quite put my finger on who that was. Someone I'd met recently, didn't know so well. Then she spoke to me.
Somebody I'd met recently but didn't know so well, because she hasn't actually met her yet.
Didn't know so well. Then she spoke to me and she knew my name. Alice.
Because this is showing the future, not the past. This isn't going on yet, but this is something that may
And she
happen.
knew my name. Alice, she said calmly as I panicked, my hand flaying as I tried to grab both of the babies from her grasp. You've tried your best, I'm afraid these two are just... You've tried your best, I'm afraid these two are just made for this world. With that she turned on her heel.
That's meant to say just aren't made for this world. Because she's taking away 2 dead babies. Because she is, in a way, some form of angel.
Made for
But
this
that's
world.
not what the lady in green is.
With that she turned on her heel
so
and strode off at pace, taking the babies with her. I couldn't let her go. I couldn't let her take the babies. They could still be received, I was sure of it. I couldn't let them die. I ran at the woman in attempt to stop her, but she calmly walked straight to
stop her. So what I did when I first wrote this, I was sat in like in a cafe with a whole load of people, and wasn't really able to concentrate. So this is why I'm going over it again now.
Her attempt to stop her, but she calmly walked straight to the large window of the hospital.
It was kind of like while I was doing my normal day job.
To the large window of the hospital. I couldn't go through windows. It seemed that nobody else seen her or heard my pleading cry.
Nobody else had seen her. I'm just going to go over this first chapter,
cries for her not to take
and then I'm probably going to go off with the live because it's much easier to do.
As she walked away down there. The fear, anger almost seemed to drain out of me with every step.
Fear and anger. Yep.
Anger almost seemed to drain out of me with every step that she took in the other direction.
Thank you for the rose.
I was in shock, in a disbelief, not only what had happened, but at the...
Shock in a disbelief, no. Shock and disbelief. Things get changed though, like when you save it, sometimes you don't.
Not only what had happened, but at the fact that nobody else in the...
That's not the... You don't pick up on these things when you're writing it quickly, but
that nobody else in the room had tried to stop her. I turned around not only to confront them, but return my attention to the surviving child and his poor...
To return my attention. Sometimes you just miss words because, you know, you're typing too quickly.
Poorly mother, desperate hope that there wasn't going to be another tragedy.
Mother in. Desperate hope that there wasn't going to be another tragedy.
In desperate hope that there wasn't going to be another tragedy. But there were no other people. No midwife, not doctors, no crying baby. There was a...
I shouldn't say these things out loud. Mother's not going to die. She's an integral part of the story.
No doctors, no crying baby. There was a flickering light which came from a small candle on a bedside.
What's happened is that she's just woken up in her own bedroom.
Which came from a small candle on a bedside table. Funnily next to the bedside table was a bed, my bed. It was this bed that I must have jumped out of in my determination to follow the woman in the green dress as she made away with Lady Bottor's babies. It had all been a dream. I but of a fever dream perhaps brought on by the...
No, fever dream.
A fever dream perhaps brought on by the fact that I had a bit of a cold. It had all seemed so real, but it couldn't be. I was here in my living quarters.
Couldn't be. Then should be full stop there. But there's so much more of this book to write. I've only written like 3 chapters.
I was here in my living quarters. Lady Bottor, as far I knew, was only having one baby, and
as far as I knew. But we're later about to find out that she is in fact having 3 babies.
Was only having one baby, and that one baby wasn't due for a good couple of months. I'd only arrived in Norfolk that day and wasn't due to meet the elusive, and apparently not very nice, Lady Bottor until the next morning. I sat on the bed reaching for a glass bottle of liquid, which I'd hidden there. I took a large gulp of the said liquid and opened one of the many cases which I yet to unpack in search of a clean handkerchief.
Which I was yet to unpack. Should be a little comma there where there wasn't.
In search of a clean handkerchief to mop the cold swear from my face.
Sweat, not swear. The cold swear from my face.
Sweat from my face. Having found one closed case and looked up, my face dropped in sheer panic. It had all been a dream. There were no dead babies, and Lady Bottor was just fine. But if that was the case, then how and why was the lady in the green dress with her green lantern again standing in the field outside my bedroom window? Then something came back to me from a conversation that had taken place earlier that day. Something about a ghost in a green dress hunting the estate, which I was now to call my home.
Haunting the estate. Not hunting the estate. Why would it be hunting the estate? We're haunting the estate. Ghosts don't hunt, they haunt. This is all based on a real ghost, by the way. The Green Lady of Woodbuster Court.
I never believed in such childish nonsense. If such ridiculous as ghosts really existed, then why had never seen my mother? Then again, I never saw my father either, and he wasn't even dead as far as I was aware.
Okay.
If only I knew who he was. The fact remained that there was a woman in a glowing green dress walking in the grounds of the hall. A woman who in my dreams had taken away the dying of my mistress, whose baby coming baby future children.
Dying, taking away the... Taking away the dying of my mistress. That should have been the dying children of my mistress. She hasn't even met the mistress yet. So, hey, how you doing, T? Yeah, I'm just here. I'm chilling. Going over some work. Going over the work on the Lady in Green, which is my next book that's coming out soon-ish, well, in the next few months. Everyone who comes in the live, I can't see what it's going to flash past. What's that say? Everyone comes in the live, please share us and make him a famous author. Thank you for that. Four people for me is good. I mean, like, you know, if I keep going at it, I mean, you never know. I had 100 people in here on the live over Christmas, and it's we've got 9 on YouTube as well. So hello there if you're watching on YouTube. If you don't know who I am on YouTube, I author Samuel J. White, and this book here can be found at the place that I'm not allowed to mention on TikTok, and TikTok is over there. TikTok is on my other phone over there, so I can't say out loud because I should have if I don't, it should be pinned. If it's not pinned, I'm annoyed. I'm gonna pin it. This is my book here on TikTok, and you get it for the price that you can see there. And this again, you can also get it at this place here. So yeah, and I've sold about 800 copies, nearly 800 copies. 796. So yeah, 796 signed copies anyway. I won't say that on TikTok Shop because I don't generally sell them on TikTok Shop. I sell them on some markets and stuff like that. But yeah, we're working on another book here. This is
the fact remained that there was a woman in a glowing green dress walking on the grounds of the hall. A woman who in my dreams had taken away the dying children of my mistress, whose coming baby, future children I was there to protect.
That's not meant to say baby, who's coming baby. That's no, that's just this is why we do editing.
Coming baby, future children I was there to protect. Of course, you couldn't take a child hadn't been born yet, but this didn't make
take a child who hadn't been born yet.
Hadn't been born yet, but this didn't make the sight of her any less terrifying. I watched at the window as she walked steadily into the darkness, unaware that I saw her. When she was gone and the beating of my heart had calmed a little, I took a match to the candle by my bed. I opened the suitcase, taking out a clean handkerchief to wipe the sweat from my face, along with my diary and pencils. In the small ball of light, I scribbled details note of the dream and what followed into my diary.
Details noting the dream, not note of the dream, noting the dream. This is quite a significant part. Noting, she has to be noting the dream down in her diary. The diary is quite significant because I haven't quite figured this out yet, but this,
when she was gone,
although it's in first person, it's going to be written by another person using her point of view from the diary because she's dead.
I opened the suitcase, taking out a clean handkerchief to wipe the sweat from my face, along with my diary and pencils. In the small ball of light, I scribbled details, noting the dream and what followed into my diary.
This takes place in 1882.
Once finished, I tried to settle
She's
once
definitely
more,
dead because
but
that
I
was
couldn't
over
get
100
that
years
image
ago.
of the dead babies out of my head. I had a long and important day ahead of me that morning, and I needed to get back to sleep. Hidden in one of my suitcases among my clean clothes was a bottle. I removed it from its hiding place and took 2 giant gulps before quickly hiding it once more. Within a few minutes, I drifted back off to sleep.
She's a Victorian nursemaid, but
I love to read.
little
One thing
hints
I
there,
find
she's
common in
also an
most of the
alcoholic.
fiction books is that they center around a new person joining a certain story, and the reader finds
We're on
things out
chapter 2
along with
now.
the protagonist. In this story, I'm that new person. To begin with, I felt unexpectedly welcome at Salhouse Station, having arrived on an earlier service than the one I planned to be on.
Unexpectedly welcome. No, that's unexpectedly. She got unexpectedly welcome. She's rather than being the person in like Maria's photograph who felt unwelcome, she's actually feeling. She was expecting not to be welcome, and she's feeling welcome.
Unexpectedly welcome at Salhouse Station, having arrived on an earlier service than the one I planned to be on. After witnessing me sneezing, the kindly station master, who looked like a retired ship's captain, had come over with a pot of tea for me, saying it was on the house. I thought he's mistaken for a child without a chaperone.
No, that's not right. It was supposed to be, I thought he'd mistaken me for a child without a chaperone. Because she's very young looking. And women and children needed chaperones in those days because women and children weren't allowed to travel on trains on their own.
This was possibly down to my small stature and youth looks, combined with my smartest
youthful looks. She's basically a dwarf, so she looks a lot. She's not really a dwarf, but she's quite a bit above being a dwarf, but she's quite small and childlike, even though she's like 23.
Looks, combined with my smartest red dress. These factors conspired to make me resemble a doll rather than the competent and self-assured 23-year-old woman that he soon realized I was. Though I get my business private, he soon figured out who I was and what I was doing there.
Get my business private? It's kept my business private. I think what I need to do is kind of be live a bit earlier in the evenings.
He soon figured out who I was
when
and
people
what I
seem
was
to be
doing
around.
there.
This is like
I
10 o'clock.
realized
People are
this
in
when
bed
I
asleep now.
apologized for the UN ladder-like manner that
So
I'd
I was in
thrice
bed
blown
asleep
my
a long
nose
time
in the
ago.
short time we'd been chatting. I'm sure they'll you back in Beckenham, he teased.
I was meant to say hear you back in Beckenham. Because she's come from a place in Kent
I
called
smiled
Beckenham.
at the poor man to let him know all was well, before asking permission to assume that my employer had sent a telegram ahead of me. How else would he have known the name of the obscure village in Kent, which I had journeyed from to Norfolk? I assumed that he was under instruction to telegram them back. I could only imagine. Instructions to telegram them back. I could only imagine how they would act if these futuristic telephone contraptions I'd heard about became popular. That would mean I would be forced to speak to them. I was, of course, grateful that employers always found a way to look after me, even when I wasn't being such an excellent employee.
My employers, because she thinks at the time, she thinks her employers are really nice people, and then she's going to slowly find out that they're not.
Employers always found a way to look after me,
even
when I wasn't being such an excellent employee as you might think I was. Salhouse, like a lot of the rural stations, seemed to be connected with the post office for convenience, like many rural stations. I assumed the post office and telegram machine were in the adjacent building. The station master had muttered that he would get someone to tell them I'd arrived safely. The people I worked for wouldn't need a telegram boy to deliver the message at the other end, either. They were the sort of people who employed their own private operators. The nice man had gone back to his desk when the large door to my left burst open. Instinctively, I glanced over and saw two women and a child stood in the doorway. The blonde woman
and a child. Not a child, two women and a child. But one of them
A child stood in the doorway. The blonde woman to the right was younger, potentially around my own age, although much taller than I would ever grow to be. Child was possibly her younger sister, as they had...
The child was possibly her younger sister. Or, who knows, is it going to be her child?
Child was possibly her younger sister, as they had similar looks and hair. The woman who stood behind them, most likely their mother. It was the woman.
The message has been held for review, so I'd imagine that you've said something rude and you can go fuck yourself.
I picked up my newspaper and went back to minding my own business. While the others were sensibly dressed in winter coats and hate, this lady was dressed for
No, I don't fancy going dogging, thank you.
was the oddness of her dress. It was
I'll put it up there,
shade
but
of green that seemed to glow in the dark. I was hardly known for my own sense of fashion, even I found it out of taste. With my nose
a moderator handled this. Well, thank you, whoever's moderating. Thank you for that.
Good afternoon.
I appreciate that. Thank you for flagging that up. But yeah, yeah. Someone asked me if I wanted to go dogging.
Assistant housekeeper at Woodbarton Hall. Myself and my sister Emily been sent under the instruction of the housekeeper, Mrs. Matlock, to oversee the safe arrival of the new nanny. We are to collect her from the
We're back to one person watching, but
without warning, the station master,
you never know.
the young lady, burst out laughing. I couldn't understand why. That was until the young woman, brimming with laughter herself, dropped the accent for a far gruffer, thick local dialect. Well, I got to sound all posh for the nanny. Hint okay, she scoffed. Old Matlock told me I hint got any second chance to make a first impression. I understood this perfectly well to mean that the housekeeper.
So say hello if you're the person who's here.
Had told her she only had one chance to
I've
make
got 4 people watching on TikTok.
Is that she was already making that
And I
first
don't know,
impression.
like.
You've probably guessed that I was the nanny whom she had come to collect. Obviously, she didn't know I'd arrived early. From the station master's reaction, he wasn't going to make her aware of my presence. I even thought I saw him
photograph
wink
t-shirt
while
on as
the
well.
woman's back was turned, as if to instruct me not to alert her that I
We'll
was
start
already
going
there.
live on TikTok more.
Something in the air gave me a feeling that the station master had done this for a reason, so I played along. I soon realized he did not introduce myself and would give me the opportunity to see this woman in a different
Soon realised I'm going to go over this again anyway.
light, while she didn't know who she was talking in front of.
Here's the question: does anyone who's actually been here, has anyone actually cottoned on to what's going on in the story? Is anyone really listening to it? Can anyone name the character who's talking? I will give about 10 more seconds to see if anyone gives me an answer. I've got people joining and leaving. People joining, leaving, joining, leaving. What I'm going to do, I think, is I'm going to keep on until I've been on for an hour, because then an hour is kind of like an amount of time that TikTok kind of gives you kind of rewards and stuff like that for. Or I'm just going to have a quick look and see if there's anything else I can do to boost the live and get more people in. Especially on TikTok, because YouTube, I don't think, is going to show any more people. You never know. I can share the live to a few more people, I think, maybe. About to destroy, he's here. Sydney. Not Mr. Spock, he'll be asleep. Layla, I think I always shared it to. Joyful Girl. Joyful, she'll come in sometimes. She's a bit of Alan, Brother Fluff. I don't think I should select to do it to Lisa Sell. I'm just going through a few more people. The problem is, what's happening is that you can only do so many at a time. And I'd have to sit here and go pushing it through these people all the time, and I'm like, Do I sound like a chipmunk? Some robot thing. Stormtrooper. I am a robot. Right, I'm turning these off. Right, I'm trying to find out. There's like there was a way of like inviting people. No, not gonna want to invite a co-host. But you know, it's kind of dying off now, so I don't know. I don't really know how to do these like things. So overview, no new followers, 38% of this live, US dollars earned this week, nothing. Yeah, I've only been on I've only like literally come on here to do this, and I haven't been live for a very long time, so let's see if I can pin the unpin it, pin it again. See, the item is also, it's my TikTok shop, by the way, it's also, but it says that I'm actually affiliate on it, but it's actually I'm not. This is my TikTok shop. So don't know why I'm an affiliate for my own shop. My shop ranking is terrible, I know that, because I've only got the one product in it. Current viewers 1, current product clicks 2. No one's actually bought the product though. I am gonna have to go out and look for my cat in a minute because he disappeared. And he usually should have been back in by now. That's the problem. He disappeared out the window. He'd normally be back by now. I think he was looking for me out there because he thought I was out there. But anyway, we're gonna continue on until we're making our live. I know that TikTok and YouTube are both struggling to get me any audience because there's a huge amount of audience around the world to try and share. I'm sure that TikTok is just not sharing it my way because I'm not paying them. So Alison Gallagher, was that aimed at me, or was that aimed at the person going dogging? I would say that's. I hope that was aimed at the person who wanted to go dogging. I may just seen your comment, but The other thing is illicit Aisling Gallagher. I would hope that was aimed at the person who wanted to go dogging, not me, because I ain't done nothing to be told to get told to piss off. But yeah. Trying to see if I can reply to it. Joined 6 months ago, has no subscribers. M2M. Yeah, well, somebody told me to piss off. I don't know if they're telling me to piss off or the other shithead to piss off. But It's hard to know now because no one watching. They aren't responding. So hang on, how do I share this? Share to Facebook. Yes, well, share it to Facebook. None of my Facebook friends are going to come on, are they? No top messages. I want all messages on there. I want all messages. I don't want be great, if more people came in, but I've got 2 people or 2 people watching on TikTok. It'd be great if you're there, say hi, because I'm kind of feeling like there's no one there. Kind of feeling like the people who are there are bots. Who are the top fans of this one? Well, I've got 4 likes on this video. I really need to start working on YouTube a lot more. Hi there. Viperlate 1N. Hi there. Thanks for your comment. Thank you for watching. And who's watching in this one? I have 1 person watching. Say hello if you're the 1 person that's watching. What I'm doing is I've got some YouTube and TikTok on, and yeah. Well, what I was doing is doing some work, but I'm ended up just going on TikTok and YouTube and not doing much work. You're going to buy the book, okay? Which country? Because I think it's only available in the UK at the moment, I think. But once it comes, you're in England. Okay, cool. Yeah, so Yeah, England will do it. England, I saw a few in England. Thank you for that. I mean, I only signed them once. Once, obviously, I know they've gone through and been paid for. The Chinese me was joking. So yeah, I did wonder that. Yeah, I didn't kind of yeah, I wondered because I don't know. My sister speaks Chinese, so a few people do. My sister lived in China for a while. Yeah. Okay, you order it when you get paid. Okay, that's fair enough. I completely understand that because it's on my W site and it's also on TikTok shop. Yeah, I totally understand that because I'm totally skint as well. I have got no money. Absolutely totally skint. Just don't go and look in my safe over there because you won't find anything in it. You won't find anything in my safe because I don't hide my cash in there at all. I have actually got no idea how much cash is in that safe. That's spend it on fishing and it's an addiction. Yeah, fishing. Yeah, I've never really done fishing. I do kayaking, sailing, and stuff like that. I don't spend much money on it though. Books is another thing. Going to events and stuff like that is an addiction. I've got to fill in some forms to go to some more events soon. Yeah, I've got to book up a whole load more for this year. I've got to get this book written as well, and I've got obviously spending out on these. So I've got I don't just have that one. I've got this one as well, but it's not in TikTok shop. It's not in TikTok shop at the moment, but it will be at some point in the future. I'm getting them printed by a different printer, and then so they're not done by Amazon, and then they can be in TikTok shop probably at some point. When then and then this one as well, again getting printed by a different printer because they're on Amazon. They cut them. They're really expensive to put in TikTok shop. Okay, no worries. I'm gonna get offline soon because I need to get some work done. I need to go find out where the cat's gone as well. So yeah, have a good sleep because sleep is important. I think I'm going to keep going until I've been here for 1 hour, and then I'm going to have to go and try and find the cat because the cat. I don't know what happened to him. He kind of went out, I think, believing that I was going to go and walk the dog, and I didn't want him to go walk. I didn't want him to come with me. But then when I came back and looked for him, he was gone. So, well, thank you. I'm going to remain here for another 6 minutes. But then I really need to go on with some work. I may even take it in the other room and do it. But need to go and make sure the cat's okay first. I'm going to do another few minutes of editing. Yeah, thank you for coming in. You never know who's going to be around.
Well,
maybe
I got
if I
a
make my
sound all
life more
posh for the
regular.
nanny. Hint okay, she scoffed. Old Matlock told me oi hint got a new second chance to make a first impression. I understood this perfectly well to mean that the housekeeper, whose name I knew to be Mrs. Matlock, had told her she only had one chance to make a first impression. What she didn't know is that she was already making that first impression. You've probably guessed that I was the nanny whom she had come to collect. Obviously, she didn't know I'd arrived early. From the station. Nanny whom she had come to collect. Obviously, she didn't know I'd arrived early. From the station master's reaction. Station master's reaction. He wasn't going to make her aware of my presence. I even thought I saw him wink at me while the woman's back was turned, as if to instruct me not to alert her that I was already there. Something in the air gave me a feeling that the station master had done this for a reason, so I played along. I soon realized he did not introduce myself and would give me the opportunity to see this.
Not introduce me on purpose. And this would give me the opportunity, knowing this. Would give me the opportunity to see this purpose. Knowing that this would give me the opportunity to see this woman in a different light while she didn't know who she was talking in front of. Yep. Well, thank you for the 4 people who are here on TikTok and the 1 person who's here on YouTube. I'm going to be here for another 3 minutes because I said I'd do an hour. And we're 3 minutes off of the hour, but I really do need to go and find my cat.
Knowing that this would give me the opportunity to see this woman in a different light while she didn't know who she was talking in front of. Of course I shan't like the nanny, she spat. It doesn't matter how pleasant she is or how good at her job good. She's from down south.
Oh, thank you for the likes. Thank you, Moonlight. I really appreciate that.
And local jobs should go to people from here. I couldn't fault her for saying that because it was true. A local nanny could have done the job just as well as, if not better than me, but I went where I was told. Though if you counted the fact I was born in the very house where I was to work, then
That grammar there doesn't make sense. Better than me. You have this book. You have which book do you have? This one. This is the one I'm writing now. Is The Lady in Green. Do you have this one? Maria's Photograph. This is my bestseller. So you have this book. Ah, okay. Did you buy this from me? Because I'm the only person that sells these. Yeah. So I'm the only person that sells these. Nobody else sells them apart from Amazon. So you must have bought it from me, or the person who got it. You got it from the Zon. Oh, okay. I don't sell many on the Zon. This one's slightly different. This one's got yeah. So did you get their paperback version or the Kindle version? Because the Amazon version, I didn't find it. I think it had there was still some errors in some of them, but these ones have pretty much had every single error got out of them. Yeah. So oh, okay. Yeah. And here's the question: what did you think of it? Some people think it's amazing. Some people think it's just a bit meh. But I'm always up for finding out what people thought about it and taking their honest opinions. I have got some other books here as well. I also wrote this one, Midwinter Night's Dream, and I wrote Roaring into the Norfolk Sunset, and I'm going to get these printed by another company that isn't Amazon, so that I can sell some more Fates and stuff like that. I am selling them at Fates, but I can print them cheaper if I get them mass produced. I noticed that now you said not got to it yet. When I reviewed it as an indie authors, not got to it yet. But when I read and reviewed indie authors books, then I invite them to a best purchase from you. Well, thank you for purchasing it. Yes, so I've got these are on my W site. But what I'm going to do in the next few weeks, they're going to be completely reprinted. So these ones are going on sale at events and stuff like that coming up. But I'm going to have them printed by the same company that I had this one done by. They're better quality than the Amazon ones. So my W site, I have to be very careful. It's on the back, I believe. Yes, it's on the back. I can get a violation for doing that from TikTok, unfortunately. But yeah. But I really appreciate anyone buying them from anywhere, to be honest. It's not in my bio because I was warned against doing that by my business coach. She said that because TikTok doesn't like you to send people to other places, and they will basically stop putting your videos out if that happens. Yeah, TikTok doesn't like stuff like that. I'm quite sure in a minute I'm going to get a violation for showing it. So it is basically the name on the front, Samuel J. White, and then the .com after it. But they're not available yet. The other one, they are available, but they're not. They will be in TikTok Shop. Yeah. They said they do, but mine was my TikTok account was very strange about me doing that, and it's because also I've got a stand store as well, and you can only put one in there, so I put the stand store in there. But yeah, it's also on the t-shirt. The t-shirt has t-shirt has the website on it. I'm working on a new book at the moment. That's what I'm doing right here, right now. I'm working on a book called The Lady in Green, which I'm hoping to have out as soon as I can, basically. But there's a lot still to go on that one. I reckon it'll take me 3 or 4 months to write, and I've only written 3 chapters so far. But I really need to go on with writing it. But I'm also trying to up my presence on TikTok as well. So trying to combine the two things, and I'm trying to up my presence on YouTube as well. And I've gone over my hour. There's one person viewing. I think what I'm trying basically to do is to keep going up on these lives, and then once you build up your time on the lives, then TikTok starts to notice that and send more people your way. It's kind of like a point system. So I am going to have to get going, because I said that I would go after an hour, and I need to go and check that my cat hasn't got lost. Long story, the cat went out the window, and he was, I think, looking for me out there, because I was taking the dog out. You'll be reading mine this February. Okay, So if you do find in that copy that there was some errors in it, I'm not completely. I think depends on when you bought it, because I went over it and got rid of some errors that I found in there, but that would have been sort of about October time. So there may be a few errors in that copy, but I got rid of them since then. I verified. What are you saying sorry for? Yeah, I mean, it was basically every time I get a print run done, I go over the copies, and when I went over that one, I got these ones done for the latest print one. I found a few. Hang on. Okay. Well, thank you. Hang on. What? Sorry. Verified. I've no problem with the way I look. I'm just a casual fan. I don't have to. I don't. I'm not sure what you're saying there. Hang on. I don't know where that's come from. Can I just look back over the messages so we can see what I don't know? Whoops, daisy. There goes my phone. Let's go. What's going on here? Just a casual fan. Sorry, don't. 63. What? Whole load of stuff's just coming through, and I'm like, where are all these What? What on earth are you talking about? Like, what? Yeah, I'm thinking. This is just HQ just trying to say that you're sorry. What? Right? They're getting blocked. You're getting blocked. Because I don't even follow you. You're getting blocked. Are you getting muted for now? Sent 45 comments. I've muted you. Yeah. 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 Yeah, I've muted them for now. I'm thinking I'm gonna block. Because it's just like, so I had another person called verified, but I don't know who that on earth that this one is. I'll block them. Yeah. Just left like 50 comments. Anybody who's watching on YouTube, this weird person just came in and left their well, thank you for reporting. Yeah, you get some really weird people coming like that. I mean, I had someone who followed me called verified, and I was a bit funny about them, but that wasn't even the same person. Hey, Michaela's here. How you doing? Yeah, Michaela. I was just going over some. Yeah, I need to get a moderator on. Yeah, I haven't had moderators. So I have just been going over the Lady in Green. Michaela's another. She's one of the people I know through the Bookstars. Bookstars is something that we're working on working on stuff. I'm actually working on a treatment for the White Rose Film Festival, but I haven't been doing that because there was a problem with it, and I told Elaine that I was working on it, but I wasn't because I couldn't actually get into it. But I've got into it now. But I'm currently working on the Lady in Green at the moment. So yeah, this is my new office setup. I didn't have this before. Oh, the cat that the missing cat is here. So yeah, I was going to go out and look for the missing cat, but he's here. So yeah, Do you like my new flashing hat that I got for Christmas? So this flashing hat basically that plays like stuff in your ears, and you play it from the phone and it flashes along. I know, simple minds, simple people have such a. Is it good with the stalls? I haven't done any since before Christmas. I've got another one coming up on the 24th. I have been asked to do one on the 25th, but I think I might have an argument with the person who's asked me. So, yeah, it's complicated. It was some North Walsham market where I've got a regular stall there, but I felt when I went just before Christmas, I really didn't feel comfortable being there. And the reason I didn't feel comfortable being there is because there was only 4 stalls there, and the customers who turned up, they kind of it's kind of a regular event that I do, but the organisers, the people who book the stalls, they never turn up there. We just kind of turn up and pay them later, and they don't tell us anything about what the future of the market is. And there's 4 stalls turned up, and then I'm literally taking all the abuse from customers because there's only 4 stalls there, because they've made the effort to come out, and they've then. But what happens is that they see there's only 4 stalls there, and they take their frustration out of the people who are there rather than the people who are not there, and they want to know what the future of the market is and whether it's going to continue or whether it's going to be revamped and stuff like that. And I don't know the answers, and they emailed me today and asked me to go back for the next one, and I said I want to know these answers. So I want to know what's going to be going on with the market, because I don't know. I don't want to stand there and take abuse from people because they haven't booked enough stalls in, and they went quiet on me. Normally they say thank you for letting me know that I'm coming, and thank you for letting me know that I'm not coming, but they just went they went a bit quiet on me. I've never even met the lady in person. I just kind of turn up at the market, and she's not there. She don't work on Sundays, so they don't really care because it's their job. Like they work for the council. They don't. They get paid regardless. So I thought, what, if I get offered another event on that day, then I'll go for it. But I've got a whole load of emails here in the computer that I've got to reply to for doing some more. Currently, my next one. I have my new diary here. My next one is on the 24th at next one's on the 24th. Tuesday the 20th. Yeah, there's a Cromer Parish Hall on the 24th. Now North Walsham have asked me to do the 25th, and I've told them that I may or may not do it. I think I may just go to football that day if football's on that day. So I haven't been down to football for a while. I go and support the Norwich Ladies, and then I've got Lingwood Village Hall on the 8th of February. There aren't too many throughout February, but I think I might have been invited to another one. So there was last year I was doing one at a place called Keys. Their markets are cancelled now, which is a shame because they had good potential to do them. But Alan's joined. Alan's here. Alan's read Maria's Storycraft, haven't you? Alan's read it. The lady who was in here earlier, I don't know if she's still here. Is Alan asking for help, or is it means hello? Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah, Alan's read Maria's Photograph. Alan is one of the people who I know from my other profile. We know about the other. I think Michaela knows about the other profile. Yeah, at least I'm more with it now. Do you remember when I got back from that day at Hunstanton, and I'd done that video, and I couldn't even remember how to say Michaela. I was just like, I was like, Michelle, whatever, however you spell, I don't know. I don't know, Michelle. Like, I don't know what the hell was wrong with me. It just turned out I hadn't eaten or drunk anything all day. Yeah, I kind of get it now, but yeah. So my other books are right here: Roaring into the Norfolk Sunset and Midwinter Night's Dream. They're the ones. Well, they're going off. They'll be on sale at the event. I'm going to put them on TikTok Shop as well at some point, but they're going to be very, very dehydrated and extremely tired. Yeah, that was an understatement. I don't think I've felt like that. I was doing the Rome marathons as well, and that I had to have like 4 days off after that. I didn't really know why that was, and then it kind of turned out I'd not been drinking, and I was literally just on the. I was on it for. I was looking at your other books on Amazon. Okay, yeah. They are going to be re-edited again because there's little things that I don't really like about them. There's some certain bits in here where it's going to be reformatted more than re-edited because I've gone over and got all the errors out as far as I know. But but this one is going to be completely reformatted because this is still in the format that I did on Amazon, and it's got the chapter heads in the wrong place. It's got the title in the wrong place. So it's going to be reformatted using a program called Atticus, which I used for this one. And I'm going to have the cover redone as well. Not completely redone, but make it do a shiny version of this. And I'm working on part 4 of Derailed and Dispersed as well, because part 4 is part 4 is already done. It just needs reworking, because the bits of it are shall we say my editor didn't do a great job on it, and I didn't realise at the time. And I'm getting a new editor pretty much. I'm on the lookout for a new editor, very much on the lookout for a new editor. Or now I know what I'm doing, I might just self-edit. But I've got a nice lady called Sue who's going to do some proofreading for me. I'm going out looking for proofreaders all over the place. So I'm currently using what we call Pro Writing Aid. Okay, so who wants to hear a little bit from the Lady in Green? So this is the first part of it. I have gone over it already, but just want to see if you want to hear a little bit from the beginning of it. See what you think.
I leaned against the window in blind panic, an ice-cold sweat on my face, dripping onto my nightdress as I stared helplessly out into the January skies. I was in such a daze that my mouth found itself unable to scream or utter any word at all. A good thing, perhaps, because if I told people what had just happened, they would have carted me off to the local lunatic asylum. I'd just awoken from what I can only describe as the most frightful dream I'd ever had in my adult life. I was in that phase where I wasn't sure if I'd woken up, or if I was still dreaming, or if it was a dream at all. That was until I spotted the thing I feared. Moving across the field in the distance, I saw an eerie green ball of light. But it wasn't just a strange green light. Even from
this is hey, Jack comes to event with me as well. Yeah.
She had her back to me.
No, this is just an AI voice reading it out.
She simply walked away at a pace where I would have had a chance of catching her were it not for me being a good distance from her, and in my nightgown and up 3 flights of stairs. I'd been in the hospital with my mistress, Lady Bottor, daughter-in-law of my employer. The young daughter-in-law of my employer
Yeah,
lay in a hospital bed in a
this
room
isn't
lit
what's
only
going to
by
be in the audio
paraffin
book.
lamps.
This is just
It was in the light cast by those
reading out
lamps
what I've
that I
written.
could see what looked like pints of blood oozing over the bedsheets from her lifeless body as the doctors fought to save her. She was supposed to be having not one, but 3 babies. Something had gone horribly wrong. The first child, a boy, had come at around 3 a.m. He was happy and healthy. I bounced him in my arms as the doctor and 2 midwives went back to her ladyship. Just 5 minutes later, it seemed from what I heard the doctors yelling that the following 2 babies had tried to come out at the same time. I'd been too busy with the first baby and didn't see the birth, but I heard the panic. Someone had called to me, yelling at me to put the baby in its cot. I did so, and I was immediately passed something wrapped in cloths. The woman who passed it to me then ran back to aid her ladyship. Almost immediately, a young midwife appeared beside me with a second bundle. The midwife, who by the look of her was no older than I was at 23, had a look of pure terror in her eyes.
Anyone who's watching on YouTube, this is what I'm doing.
My own. One of the babies was alive, but the other 2 weren't going to survive. Not unless by some minor miracle we could get them breathing. We need to breathe for them. I'd called to her above the panicked cries of the doctor working on her lungs. Massage their hearts, try to stop breathing. I wasn't a doctor, but I'd read how to do it in books. The midwife, however, was worryingly uneducated in such things or had simply frozen on the spot. Trying and failing to remain calm, I bent over one of the bundles and I breathed both steadily and gently into his or her mouth. I saw the tiny lungs rise and fall and waited desperately to see if there was any improvement. I began to push my fingers up and down over the heart in an effort to pump blood. The midwife, now out of her own moment of hesitation, was working hard to save the other baby. Both of us repeated the action for several minutes, becoming more desperate with every failed attempt. That was until the midwife, after several minutes, no success, crumpled to her knees in tears. I wasn't going to give up so easily. I took the child from the girl, and I did my utmost to get both of them breathing. By now I was exhausted as sweat and tear poured down my grimy face, but I wasn't going to give up on these.
Yeah, she's in a bit of a sticky situation. 2 of the babies are not going to make it.
But I wasn't going to give up on these poor babies for anything. Then suddenly, as though she'd appeared out of thin air.
Thank you so much for the likes. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I really appreciate everything you do for all of us authors and the book stars. You're always there supporting us every time. I tried to log on to the live today and I didn't see anything there, so I don't know if I missed it or not.
No matter much anyone tried to stop her. There was an air of something about the woman which had made me wonder if I should be terrified of her, in some morbid way pleased to see her. I had a vague impression that she was some sort of angel.
There should be some awe in some morbid way pleased to see her. The lady.
In some morbid way pleased to see her. I had a vague impression that she was some sort of angel. She had to be to have appeared out of thin air like that. I didn't believe in such utter nonsense. I went to church on Sunday, but everyone was expected to go to church on Sunday. It was a weekly social event, where the well-to-do dressed in them to show off to the other well-to-do families.
Sounds intriguing. Well, thank you. Yeah, this is only the prologue.
Though I smiled,
I've got so much more of this to work on.
Or Satan, or angels, but couldn't deny it while she was right there in front of me like the angel of death, but in an odd green dress. In the short amount of time that I saw her through the veil, I couldn't decide what her intentions were. In my mind, if she had bad intentions she would be ugly, but all bad people are ugly but not all ugly are bad. This woman, however, from what I could see of her under the veil was quite a beauty.
That's something that I studied about in history of writing in fairy tales and stuff like that. All the bad people are always ugly. There's never a pretty bad person in fairy tales. They're all ugly and they're all witches. It's kind of fits that format.
With that she turned on her heel and strode off at pace, taking the babies with her. I couldn't let her go. I couldn't let her take the babies. They could still be received, I was sure of it. I couldn't let them die.
Seed. that was meant to be revived, not received. So yeah, I'm just sort of self-editing as I go here, but there's going to be. I totally changed the beginning to the story.
I was sure of it. I couldn't let them die. I ran at the woman in her attempt to stop her, but she calmly walked straight to the large window of the hospital. I couldn't go through windows. It seemed that nobody else had seen her or heard my pleading cries for her not to take them. All I could do was watch on in terror as she walked away down there. The fear and anger almost seemed to drain out of me with every step that she took in the other direction. I was in shock and disbelief, not only what had happened, but at the fact that nobody else in the room had tried to stop her. I turned around not only to confront them, but to return my attention to the surviving child and his poorly mother, in desperate hope that there wasn't going to be another tragedy. But there were no other people. No midwife, no doctors, no crying baby. There was a flickering light, which came from a small candle on a bedside table. Funnily next to the bedside table was a bed, my bed. It was this bed that I must have jumped out of in my determination to follow the woman in the green dress as she made away with Lady Bottor's babies. It had all been a dream.
Lady Bottor's, it's actually pronounced Betas. Because the reason I call, well, thank you. Better just continue on to the end of the chapter, but the
fever dream perhaps brought on by the fact that I had a bit of a cold. It had all seemed so real.
It reveals a little bit more about her here as well, about Alice.
In my living quarters. Lady Bottor, as far as I knew, was only having one baby, and that one baby wasn't due for a good couple of months. I'd only arrived in Norfolk that day and wasn't due to meet the elusive
Alice isn't the clean-cut girl we think she is.
Lady Bottor until the next morning. I sat on the bed reaching for a glass bottle of liquid, which I'd hidden there. I took a large gulp of the said liquid and opened one of the many cases which I was yet to unpack, in search of a clean handkerchief to mop the cold sweat from my face. Having found one closed case and looked up, my face dropped in sheer panic. It had all been a dream. There were no dead babies, and Lady Bottor was just fine. But if that was the case, then how and why was the lady in the green dress with her green lantern again standing in the field outside my bedroom window? Then something came back to me from a conversation that had taken place earlier that day. Something about a ghost in a green dress haunting the
woman
estate,
from her dream
which
is
I was now
outside.
to call my home. I never believed in such childish
even though it was a dream.
nonsense. If such ridiculous as ghosts really existed, then why had never seen my mother? Then again,
why had I never seen my mother? Because her mother died, or did she? It's all a bit Scooby-Doo.
Never seen my mother. Then again, I never saw my father either, and he wasn't even dead as far as I was aware. If only I knew who he was. The fact remained that there was a woman in a glowing green dress walking on the grounds of the hall. A woman who in my dreams had taken away the dying children of my mistress, coming baby, future children I was there to protect. Of course, you couldn't take a child who hadn't been born yet, but this didn't make the sight of her any less terrifying. I watched out the window as she walked steadily into the darkness, unaware that I saw her. When she was gone and the beating of my heart had calmed a little, I took a match to the candle by my bed. I opened the suitcase, taking out a clean handkerchief to wipe the sweat from my face, along with my diary and pencils. In the small ball of light, I scribbled details, noting the dream and what followed, into my diary. Once finished, I tried to settle once more, but I couldn't get that image of the dead babies out of my head. I had a long and important day ahead of me that morning, and I needed to get back to sleep. Hidden in one of my suitcases among my clean clothes was a bottle. I removed it from its hiding place and took 2 giant gulps before quickly hiding it once more. Within a few minutes, I drifted back off to sleep. For now. Chapter 2.
That's the first chapter.
I love to read.
I won't go putting it on. I won't go subjecting you to the second and third chapter. But so Alice, the new nanny, is she has seen a premonition of 2 babies dying, and she's drinking So yes. So Alice is not Alice is a goody two shoes, but secretly she likes the whiskey. So yeah, she secretly likes the whiskey because she's got her secret stash of whiskey under the bed, and that may be her downfall, or it may lead her on into other things. It's going to lead her into the fact it's that people are going to start people who find out about her little problem are going to start blackmailing her about it at some point in the book, or she thinks they will, or they're either going to start blackmailing her about it, or keep feeding her habit. They have to wait till the book's written and it could be a drunk illusion, but it's not. But it could be a drunken illusion. But well, so I shouldn't say. But it could be she wasn't drunk, but she is getting a bit drunk. It's one of those things you'll have to read the book when it's out to without me giving away too much. But she's definitely had some alcohol, and but the lady in green. That's the point. It could be anything. Yes, exactly. So the lady in green could be several different things because she's a well-known ghost story at that point, but doesn't mean to say that somebody else can't be dressing up as her, like in Scooby-Doo. But that the dream wasn't happening yet because the dream is maybe showing us something that will happen in the future. And then the lady in green could be several different people. Could be someone dressing up as the ghost, or it could be someone who used to dress up as the ghost and has now passed on. Yeah, it's premonition, and so I'll give you some clues. The lady in green. There could be several different ladies in green, and that particular one has become an angel. But they're all based on a real story. But other people may be dressing up as the lady in green to, shall we say, scare people away to cover up what's really going on. It gets it gets a very much lot deeper than this. There's all sorts of conspiracies going on in this story, but it's still in my head at the moment, and I need to write it. I've written a scene with the where she meets the lady of the house, and the lady of the house is an Italian. She's the man of the house thought he was marrying a cousin of the Queen, but she then turned out to be a cousin of the Queen of Italy. But she's a bit strange. Is she really the cousin of the Queen of Italy, or is she an imposter? Who knows? Is she the lady in green, or one of them? Or is she at least, or could she be in league with them? And what are they really doing? You'll all have to find this sort of stuff out when the book comes out, and I need to write it because at the moment, it needs a lot of work. Especially chapter 2 needs a lot of work. Now the thing is, do you want to hear chapter 2? At the moment, chapter 2 may be changed, but chapter 2 needs a lot of work on it. The thing is, do you want to hear chapter 2? Or do you want to leave it there for now? Because I've already written chapter 2 and then a bit of chapter 3 and then the rest of it. Okay, yeah, awesome. Yeah, wait until it's out, I think. I think that's a better idea. But I think what I'm gonna have to do is because I'm not getting on so well, I'm gonna have to come off of the live and just get writing. Because while I'm on the live, then I'm not writing. If you get what I mean. But do you like my new desk setup? I'll show you my new desk setup. This is what I was talking on the Bookstars Live about the other day when I said I was getting my new desk. I mean, it's still not great, but let's see if we can switch the camera around. Flip camera. It's not great because everything's still in a mess, but got my laptop down here, then the bigger screen up here. I didn't have it. The problem is I haven't had a proper computer in a while because what I did have, I don't know where it's gone actually. I don't know where I've moved it to. I had what I've been working on for ages is this computer here, and as you can see, if I try and turn that on, I don't know if it's got any battery power in it. Yeah, I had this computer here, and it was plugged into that screen. This one was completely smashed. Absolutely nothing working on that. I found it up the other day. I found it. I was talking to my insurance people, and they said that was on the insurance. So I found it up and got it fixed. Yeah, definitely improvement from not having a desk. So I had another table here, but that was really, really poorly designed. And well, I did have another one under the stairs, but I couldn't do anything in there because my hands were just everything was just backwards, and everything was my hands were twisting, and it wasn't great. But this is definitely an improvement. I've got some proper lighting in here as well. I got this all as part of my Christmas present. My mum gave me some money to spend on Amazon, and that was yeah. So I've got no excuse not to get some decent work done. See, the problem was I wasn't able to get anything done on the treatments for Maria's photograph. And I was really struggling with the Bookstars website as well because I didn't know why. Because it was kind of telling me that I was viewing it as an outsider rather than an author, and I didn't know why. And it turned out I've got two profiles. And I didn't know that I had two profiles. And it was only when Elaine showed me the other night on the when I asked her about how to get into it, and I thought I can't do that. It was only when I did that I had to go back and look at that and see that I had two profiles on there, and one's a reader profile. But yeah, this needs sorting out. This is some of the books that are on sale. This whole area needs sorting out. It's in a really bad state, but various reasons for that. Obviously, you can see I'm live on YouTube there. I've got my degree on the desk. I wasn't really happy with my degree because the whole time I was doing that, I was stuck in that bit under the stairs there because there was no way I could even put my desk here because there was all sorts of stuff piled up here. And but you know, if I'd have known while I was doing my degree that I was possibly neurodivergent, see, I didn't know that, and I just thought I was really, really not intelligent, so I didn't ask for help or anything. Just kind of thought that I needed to get on with it. It's only since that it's been pointed out that I might be neurodivergent, and I could have got help understanding it. So I ended up passing with a low second class honours. And yeah, some of it I completely missed out, but it's there, it's done. So I can now I'm going to be working on Storycraft as well, which is my business, which I'm setting up, and I'm going to be working on the books too, as well as doing my main job. So I have a lovely area here, and when my hands are not I have problems with my hands. That's part of the problem. You see, these don't line up properly. So I've got braces and stuff to put on my hands because that. But one of the books I've got here, when Do Well and Disperse, I think I was writing the third part, and I was typing really quickly because I was really really into what I was doing, and I was typing so quickly. And in the end, I didn't know what was wrong. I ended up having to go put my hands in the freezer because they were so bad. I literally had to go and hold them in the freezer after I finished writing. But I've been seen an OT now. She's given me the braces to put on them. Just need to continue working with the braces. I've got one at the moment. But yeah. So what else can I show you? So everything in this new computer, now I've got the two bits together. I can do that. I can put it on a bigger screen. I don't want to do that. Unfortunately, you can see my dashboard down here for KDP. Then that's showing no books sold since none since the beginning of the year anyway. But I do yeah, this is what I was planning to do. Yeah, to do the sprints. So but I was going to do the sprints on the live, but I was hoping to sort of get a few other people in to do sprints together, but we may or may not be able to do that. Going to start going live from events again. I've spent way too much time on TikTok. I don't know if you know about my other profile or my other profiles, but I've spent way too much time on there recently. My naughty word profile. Yeah, I think you did know about that because I signed it on the Bookstars with that one, didn't I? Jade follows that one. Yeah, I actually did a stitch with Jade on that profile earlier. Yeah, it is very addictive, especially when I'm just I've got my normal day job to do, and I just kind of sat there and while my two people I look after were asleep, and I just kind of ended up sitting there and doing some naughty words on there in a good way, you know. It's a funny way. It's not like yeah. So I was a bit kind of. This is why I was kind of apprehensive about doing the interview with Kelly, right? Because I can say now, because I told her during the interview, when I first started doing that profile, I was on the wind up, and I was doing some like picking on people as a joke, right? And I didn't know Kelly back then. Hi there, and hi there, Eternia. Hi there, how you doing, mate? Yeah. Don't ever think we were all the same. Yeah. So I was kind of how it is. I was having a laugh and stuff, but it kind of seemed maybe that I wasn't. And I was really kind of going to town on people, and yeah, and Kelly was one of the people I really went to town on one of the videos, and didn't know her back then, and then I kind of got to know her through Bookstars, and she added me. And so in fact, no, it was her who put me onto Bookstars because she said she was talking about the Bookstars, and I told her that I was an author, and she was the one. She added me and put me onto the book stars, and I felt really, really bad about the making jokes then. But so I deleted everything I'd said. Eternia, it's a long time since I've seen you. How are you doing? Oh no, I get that now. I go, she wouldn't give a shite. No, it was like yeah. Now I know her. I know that. I was it was and I know her sense of humour. Yeah. Yeah, Eternia, you had a different name, didn't you? I remember you had a different name, but I can't remember what your name was before. I know you, and I know the. Yeah, I can't remember what your name was before, but I know that you. I know we spoke a lot, and I know but it's so long since we spoke. I can't remember what your name was. I know I spoke to you with. I know I met you through Angel. And Angel. Yes, you're Rob. That's the one. Yes, I couldn't. I know so many people. I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember. But yeah, my head's gone a bit spinny. Angel bought the book from me as well. She bought a copy of Maria's photograph. Yeah. The Lady in Green is going to be a bit longer than. Okay, no worries. Meeting at 7:30. That's an early one. Yeah, thank you for coming on and being so helpful with the likes and everything. I really appreciate everything. I'm gonna go off soon as well because I need to get on with the work. Yeah, so I don't know what. So this is me being on YouTube as well. I was told that I should be on YouTube at the same time. Yeah. Yeah, Angel's amazing. Angel is going to try, as well, she said when I spoke to her, she said she was going to try and get down to Nottingham while I do the event in Nottingham. She says it's not far from her. She can try and get down. I'm trying to get this book done before I go to the Nottingham event. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. I would hope that this book is done by then. But really need to get a steady move on with it. I'm going to turn YouTube live off because nothing's happening with YouTube. YouTube sucks. But yeah. In fact, TikTok for me has been quite